شرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت
Number 388 وعن ابن بريدة عن أبيه قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يخرج يوم الفطر حتى يطعم ولا يطعم يوم الأضحى حتى يصلي رواه أحمد. The similar matter that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as narrated by Buraidah and upon his father, states that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam would eat something on the day of Eid al-Fitr before Salatul Eid. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have something to eat on Yawmul Eid, on the day of Fitr. As for the second Eid, Yawmul Adha, وَلَا يَطْعَمْ يَوْمُ الْأَضْحَى حَتَّى يُصَلِّي, and the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam would not have anything to eat on the second Eid, but rather the practice of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba was that they would pray Salatul Eid early on the second Eid, Yawmul Adha, Eidul Adha. They would pray Salatul Eid early, and then they would slaughter the animals, clean the animal and eat from that animal. They would cook that animal, or they would braai that animal, or have a barbecue, and then they would eat of that animal. So the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his practice was, for the first Eid, they would delay Salatul Eid slightly, and they would eat before Salatul Eid. As for the second Eid, they would pray it quite early, and they would only eat after slaughtering the animal and eating some portion, either the kidney, etc., of that animal. Hadith number 389 وعن عطية رضي الله تعالى عنها قالت أمرنا أن نخرج العواتق والحيض في العيدين يشهدن الخير ودعوة المسلمين ويعتزل الحيض المصلى متفق عليه. Hadith number 389, dealing with the topic of Salatul Eid. Is Salatul Eid wajib? Is it fard kifaya? Then the scholars have differed in various opinions. The first being that Salatul Eid is wajib. Salatul Eid being wajib. And this is the opinion of the Hanafi scholars and Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, Sheikh bin Baz rahimahullah, and a riwayah, a narration from Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, that Salatul Eid is something which is wajib upon the males. The second opinion, Salatul Eid is something which is fard kifaya. If some Muslims pray it, it falls off the rest of the Muslims. There is no obligation upon them. And this is also a narration from Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. And the last opinion, and the opinion of majority of the scholars, that Salatul Eid is something which is mustahab. It is something which is a sunnah. And if you did not pray it, then you are not sinful in the matter. That is with regards to males. As for females, then the scholars are almost in agreement that Salatul Eid with regards to females is something which is mustahab. It is something which is recommended based upon Hadith 389, narrated by Atiyya radiallahu ta'ala anha. She states that we were commanded, we were ordered, umirna, to bring out on the day of Eid, Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, the young women, al-awatiq, the females who were very, very young, and al-huyyad, those who were even in the state of menstruation, wal-awatiq, those who were under the age of Bulugh, they were quite young, wal-huyyad, those who were menstruating, fil eidain yashhadna al-khair wa da'wat al-muslimin. They should come out on the day of Eid, they should come to the musalla for Salatul Eid, they should be there with the da'wah of the Muslimin, they should partake with the festivities, etc. وَدَعْوَةُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ وَيَعْتَزِلْ الْحُيَّةِ الْمُصَلَّى. As for the females who are in the state of menstruation, then they should not break up the safs. Rather, they should sit at the back of the females who are praying at the musalla. From this hadith, we see that it is mustahab for the females also to attend Salatul Eid at the musalla, obviously keeping in mind the various conditions in their dress, etc. We mentioned that awatiq means those females who are almost at the age of bulugh, and that al-khudur, in certain narrations it mentions that al-khudur mentions those females who are virgins and are unmarried. They should also come out for Salatul Eid. Even the females who are in the state of menstruation, The Messenger ﷺ had also stated that if a female does not have a jilbab, she does not have enough garments, then she should borrow from her sister and she should come out for Salatul Eid. So this hadith is proof that Salatul Eid for females is also something which is recommended and mustahab insha'Allah. Hadith number 390. وعن ابن عمر رضي الله تعالى عنهما قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وأبو بكر وعمر يصلون العيدين قبل الخطبة متفق عليه. This hadith, the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam reported from him and Abu Bakr and Umar, they would pray the يصلون العيدين قبل الخطبة. They would pray Salatul Eid before the khutbah. The relation with regards to this hadith is that later on in the ummah, certain umara and certain leaders felt that the people are not sitting for the khutbah. So rather we make the khutbah first and then we will pray Salatul Eid. But the Messenger ﷺ's practice was to pray Salatul Eid first and then he would have the khutbah. How many khutbahs were there? This hadith is clear in the fact, or it gives an indication in reality, that the khutbah was only one khutbah. But majority of the scholars, they made qiyas upon Salatul Jum'ah and the khutbah of Salatul Jum'ah, and they stated that the norm is to give 2 khutbahs. So they stated that even for Salatul Eid, one should have 2 khutbahs with a sitting in between based upon the practice for Salatul Jum'ah. It is mustahab for the Muslim to sit for the khutbah, and it is not wajib, it is not an obligation. As we know that the Messenger ﷺ in the hadith recorded by Imam Abi Dawood, the Messenger ﷺ told the Sahaba who had prayed with him Salatul Eid, whoever wants to sit, then let him sit, and whoever wants to leave, then let him leave. So if you see a brother leaving the masjid and he does not listen to the khutbah of Salatul Eid, do not look down upon the brother, for verily there is room for this type of practice, and it is not an obligation that he sits for the khutbah. But it is highly recommended the day of Eid, at least insha'Allah, that you sit for the khutbah and benefit insha'Allah. Hadith number 391. وعن ابن عباس رضي الله تعالى عنهما أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى يوم العيد ركعتين لم يصلي قبلها ولا بعدها أخرجه السبعة. This hadith narrated by Ibn Abbas رضي الله تعالى عنه, an authentic hadith, he states that the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم prayed on the day of Eid, Salatul Eid, 2 rakats of prayer, and he did not pray anything before it, nor did the Messenger ﷺ at the Musalla pray anything after Salatul Eid. There is no Sunnah Salah before Salatul Eid, no Sunnah Salah after Salatul Eid. But what happens if the brother is praying in the masjid and Salatul Eid is happening in the masjid and he comes into the masjid? Can he pray Tahiyyatul Masjid? The answer is yes. Due to the fact that this is the masjid, you are allowed to pray Tahiyyatul Masjid. You are not praying these 2 rakats as it being a sunnah of Salatul Eid, but rather you are praying Tahiyyatul Masjid due to your entrance into the masjid. Hadith number 392. وعنه رضي الله تعالى عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى العيد بلا أذان ولا إقامة أخرجه أبو داود. This hadith narrated by Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala an again, he states that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam prayed Salatul Eid bila adhan wala iqama, without any adhan and without any iqama. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam came to the musalla and he began with Salatul Eid without any adhan nor iqama. Some of the scholars of Islam, they have stated that it is mashru', it is permissible to say Salatul Jami'ah, Salah al-Jami'ah, congregational Salah, no adhan, no iqama, but this type of call is given, and they made qiyas upon Salatul Istisqa, and they made qiyas upon Salatul Kusuf, where we had learnt that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam had told somebody, scream out, make an announcement, the munadi, Salatul Jami'ah, so that the people could congregate and join together for the Salah. Some of the scholars of Islam have stated that this is also permissible for Salatul Eid, but the reality is that we do not have any specific dalil for this matter, as Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah has clearly stated in Zad al-Ma'ad. And with that, inshallah, we will now take a 5-minute break, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We had went through the matters so far with regards to Salatul Eid. We had seen that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam encouraged the females to even come out to the Musalla for Salatul Eid. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would have something to eat before the first Eid, Eidul Fitr. As for the second Eid, he would only eat after he had slaughtered his animal and eaten from that animal. We had also seen that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for the first Eid, he would delay Salatul Eid, and for the second Eid, Eidul Adha, the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam would pray it quite early. There is no adhan, no iqama for Salatul Eid. There is no specific sunnah salat to be prayed at the musalla before Salatul Eid, nor after Salatul Eid. And with that, inshallah, we will return after a 5-minute break, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.